Good morning and welcome back to Cityline. Yes, they occasionally let me out of my chair, and this is one of those moments. With me is someone who I absolutely love and adore, and everybody who meets him does this. We all go, oh gosh, Shawn Tibbitts, we love you so much. You are here. You've got that restaurant that keeps on giving 24/7 to everybody, and that is the alarm that tells us that the hard-boiled eggs are almost done. Welcome to Cityline, Mr. Shawn.
Thank you, Amanda. Glad to be here. Glad to see you, Tacoma. Welcome to the show. Just here to talk about hard-boiled eggs going into Easter.
So I grew up in the South. I know, all jokes aside. And I often think that nobody does a hard-boiled egg like people who grow up in the South, because egg salad, potato salad, hard-boiled eggs, eggs on crackers. I sound like Forrest Gump. It's ongoing.
Yes.
Deviled eggs. Our family has fights about deviled egg recipes and who makes the best deviled eggs. So, Mr. Tibbitts, why do you want to do hard-boiled eggs? When you know what? I mean, you can have someone do it for you, or if you're really busy, hard-boiled eggs are the last things you think about.
You know, for me to show hard-boiled eggs, we're going into a month here and a holiday of Easter, and a lot of people don't know how to cook hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that they do and they don't, but certain ways, certain styles, you know, people, or I'll go into their house, they'll start their hard-boiled eggs, they'll just put a pan on there and put cold water in it, turn it on, and then they don't know when the eggs are done.
Oh, I know.
For me, it's like, do you have a timer or anything? And they're like, no.
So this leads to the question. Here it is. How do you exactly, okay, I know, the mom jokes. How do you exactly make a hard-boiled egg? Because I've been in those homes where it's like, hey, would you like a hard-boiled egg? Would you like, I'm like, the egg has been there for a while. These eggs don't taste fresh. So first off, let's go back to a shelf life, because people are going to be making brunch this whole month, and eggs are a part of that. How do you know if you've got a fresh egg?
Well, a lot of times, if you buy eggs straight from the farm, you don't have to really refrigerate them. When you start refrigerating them is when the waste process starts. That's when they start. It's right when you put them in the fridge, because that sets something off inside the egg. I don't know exactly what it's called, but I'm being honest.
Okay.
But a lot of times, eggs will last longer than the expiration date too. A couple weeks after.
So let me make sure I'm hearing you correctly. So let's say today is Thursday, which it is. Sure. I wish I knew somebody who did farm fresh eggs. I'd be all over that. I go and get some eggs from a local vendor. Right. I don't run home and put it into the fridge. I let it sit on the counter because on Saturday, I'm making hard-boiled eggs. Right. Is that a good thing to do?
You know, you can do it up to 7 days to leave it on the counter, and that's where I would stop it, is 7 days, and then I'd probably put them in the fridge after that. Okay. Because those eggs that have been on the ground that the chickens are laying, you don't know how long they lay there. They're just, whatever. But moving forward with that, once you get into the fridge, then you got to pay attention to the date that's on the container or when you pick those up.
Exactly.
Because then you get people sick. And the way to know if they're bad is just smell them. You know, eggs have an odor that they set off, and it's just...
Boy, do they ever.
You know, and also when you're cooking them and they crack and you smell that, you know, so you can tell a bad egg. It's something that you don't smell before. But for me, when I go shopping for eggs, I always check it. You know, you can shake them and see. Sometimes you get the double yolkers. Those are the best.
Those are the best.
You know, it's like, what, a double yolker? But I am not an egg scientist, so trying to be exact with this whole thing, you know, it just depends on where you're getting them from. Have they been refrigerated? What's the sourcing, and how are they doing it? You know, and that's all on USDA to keep us clean and keep us safe. But we don't know when those eggs were born.
Yeah. It's top egg secret. So here we have, let's walk back into how do we start the process before we get into dyeing eggs, making egg salad. So you said the first thing we don't do is put a pan on the stove with cold water.
Yeah.
What should we be doing?
So what I like to do is I have a method that I've used for, 30 years now, where I would boil my water first, full boil.
Okay.
100% full boil. No salt, no oil, nothing. You know, I know people say add salt, add this, add vinegar, so the eggs don't stick to the shell when you start to peel them.
Right.
You know, so from a boil, what I would do is I take my little guy here. It's super cute, my little pasta.
Look at that great
spoon
shot
here.
we have. Thank you, thank you.
These are Wilcox. These are a local farm, by the way. They're out in Roy. But I like to dip my egg in there. And so make sure that you just do it very gently. And as that goes, you know, keep making sure that's the last egg you put in.
And
So
let's
keep
talk
separated.
about this. Wait, come back. Put this underneath the camera. What is this doohickey?
It's a pasta scoop, but I use it for eggs. There's a lot of things in your...
Excellent.
There's many things in the kitchen that you can utilize. And the biggest thing is when you're using electric, it takes a lot longer for the water to boil than using a gas burner.
Okay.
You know, but with that said, so once you put your eggs in there,
And then,
you want to set a timer for 13 minutes.
okay, 13
So
minutes.
these ones that has
okay, there we
6
go.
minutes left till those are done.
Oh, good shot.
So I just want you folks to know that always set a timer, always know once that goes off. Now I've already done some eggs up prior to being on air, and these are them right here.
And they're soaking in a beautiful little spa treatment
So
of ice and water.
And the one thing you want to look at is for a green ring inside there, because if you go overcooked eggs, it'll turn green. So you'll have
Is
a green
that why
eggs.
that green ring shows up sometimes?
Yep. So you want a yellow center all the way thoroughly cooked through. So
Okay.
I'm going to show you how I crack eggs. I'm going to use this table right here because a lot of people don't have cutting boards, or they're on the fly, or they're at an event, or whatever. So what I'll do is I'll just crack it, and then I'll just roll it.
Ooh.
And then I'll just peel it apart. And as I'm peeling it apart, you can see that the eggshell is not sticking, or the egg is not sticking to the shell.
Boom. So, okay, so you have years of experience and you're making this look so easy. What happens if I don't have that kind of talent and the egg peel starts sticking? And then what happens, of course, is the egg starts breaking at that point.
There's really nothing you can do at that point. I've tried and tried to save the egg. The best thing to do
So it does happen to you?
It does all the time.
Okay.
Because you can't determine how long the egg is. Some people say if the egg is too hot, you can't peel it. If the egg is too cold, you can't peel it. Eggs are a mystery. That's why it's called the incredible edible egg, because it does whatever it wants.
So I've noticed that we are using brown eggs, or as my mother-in-law would say, these are chocolate eggs,
Sure.
and then we have vanilla eggs.
Right.
When she was little, to my wife. So, what's the difference between brown and white eggs?
You know, it just depends on where they're at and what they're growing. Like this is organic,
Okay.
free range. There's also organic other ones, but you know me, I just like color. You know, I use duck eggs, I use goose eggs. You know, I use a lot of different eggs. But you know what? For me, an egg's an egg.
Okay.
It's all going to have the same pretty much basic flavor.
Right.
You know, but some are just cooler than others.
Okay, so let's imagine the kids are around and
Right.
they're on the stools and they have their little aprons on, and everybody's been lectured about don't put your fingers in the water.
Yes, don't do
Then
that.
we have some other things over here. So, of course, every child that I've ever met loves to dye Easter eggs.
You know, I just picked that up this morning. I was like, you know what? If we're going to do Easter eggs, let's show these folks how easy it is if they wanted to do some decorating for their eggs, if they want to make it at home. Remember, 13 minutes. You'll boil the water 13 minutes after you put your eggs in.
Okay.
Once they're done, put them in the ice.
Ice
Once
bath?
they're done, yep. And then that's it. You don't need to run water on this. Just an ice bath
And
will
they
cool
sit
it.
in there for how long?
Just however long you want. You know,
Okay.
I mean, they're
5
done.
days.
They're fully cooked. Yeah, about 5 days
5
shelf
days.
life. You know, deviled eggs, I would give that 3 days. You know what I mean? Just because you got mayonnaise.
No, those are fermented
mustard.
eggs.
I know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
But you know what? I'm not very good at coloring eggs. I'm good at coloring other stuff. But
Well,
yeah.
okay, and of course we have this also that you maybe would be better coloring at.
Yeah, you can, when it's Easter, you know, a lot of times the places have these events to color at. And I picked this just up at Safeway, a local Safeway, about Happy Easter, showing kids that there's events out there that they can apply for, due to return. You know, just Easter's fun. It's a colorful holiday. It's a lovely season, you know, and a lot of people are grateful for Easter.
right.
You know, like me, it's spring. It's like it's time.
It is absolutely. I want to say thank you so much for you and all of the joy and the passion that you bring to our community and to our food. You are just outstanding, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome, my dear.
I am glad to be here. And let me show you, once you get that egg done, you just crack that open, and there it is.
Let's see if we can get a shot right there.
No
All right.
No green.
Can we see that? No green. Oh, there it is. That wraps up another great segment of Cityline. It's always a pleasure and a privilege to be in your home and make eggs. We've given you a lot of things to think about. Go out there and be a part of the process and pay it forward. And when you get done, as always, we'll be waiting for you right here at Cityline.
Love you, Tacoma.
But Tacoma's where you'll stay. Right, you're from the easy. Right, you're from Green Bay. Right, you're from Atlanta. But Tacoma's where you'll stay. Yeah, Tacoma, that's my home. From the pines to the dawn. Tacoma, that's my home. Yeah, Tacoma, that's my home. Tacoma, that's my home. Place I call my own. Tacoma, that's my home. Yeah, Tacoma, that's my home. All right, you're from the East Coast. All right, you're from the West. All right, you're from the middle. But Tacoma's still the best. All right, you're from the East Coast. All right, you're from the West. All right, you're from the middle. But Tacoma's still the best. Hey, Tacoma, that's my home. From the pines to the dawn. Tacoma, that's my home. Yeah, Tacoma, that's my home. Tacoma, that's my home. Place I call my own. Tacoma, that's my home. Yeah, Tacoma, that's my home. Tacoma, that's my home. From the pines to the dawn. Tacoma, that's my home. Yeah, Tacoma, that's my home. Tacoma, that's my home. Place I call my own. Tacoma, that's my home. Yeah, Tacoma, that's my